Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you wanna end a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise of talk sports on a national level? Roll with the topic, sorta like the rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th and 26th, so the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.
Diversified and educated. What's good, War Room family? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan. I'm at the round table with my brothers. We got Jimmy the Blueprint and the Bull B. Austin in the building. What up with you cats?
Man, I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Well, everybody, it's opening day in Major League Baseball. The Sweet 16 is upon us, and the BBB empire is crumbling from within. So keep it locked right here. We're going to talk about this and everything else happening in the world of sports. And if you want to get in on the conversation yourselves, make sure you join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat / the War Room, or you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call us directly in about 5 minutes when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. That number, as it's been for the past 9 years, is 323-410-0012. But before we get started, you know we got to do this. We got to make sure that during the week you guys are listening to the show. We're not live on the air. You can check out archive episodes of the show at a ton of places, man. You can go to warroomsports.com. You can go to the War Room Sports mobile app, which is free. iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, Google, most other places you do your podcast listening. But look, what up, Kings? Is it Cardi Cosby or nah? What's up with that?
Yo, before we get into it, as we're known to get into it, I definitely have to invoke the support and help of my brother, the Blueprint, in bidding a fond and memorable farewell to one Akeem Mickens. And if you've been rocking with us for a while, then you know who the Bull Tech 9 is, because you know what feverish battle rap enthusiasts we are. Tech 9, may you rest in peace, good brother.
Shout out to
Listen, man.
Sports Operation Battle Rap.
I'm hurt over that.
You actually stole my thunder, B. Austin. I was going to do that and send a rest in power shout out to the brother, man, because I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like, it effed me up a little bit for several different reasons, but for one, because he was a good dude. I had the pleasure of meeting on several occasions. And from the same area. Funny thing is, we're from the same area, but didn't meet until battle rap, which is crazy.
That's not where you know him from.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but I had the pleasure of meeting him, and he's one of the most genuine dudes within the culture. Because even with the culture, there's some bums in terms of people, like everything else. Just like when you meet your favorite athlete sometimes, and they be bums. It's the same thing with battle rap. Some of them is bums too, but he was one of the realest and most genuine dudes. And to see someone just like, a legend passing his sleep like that, man, it just makes you appreciate those that are still there, and and give people their flowers while they're there, man, because you just never know.
You never know, man. He was a real good dude. And I know, Dev, I don't know if you're familiar with his body of work. He had bars, but his thing wasn't even so much the crazy rhyme schemes and bars. Yo, he truly was a master of ceremonies, like an MC. He controlled and moved the crowd. Like, that was his style. Like, he brought the crowd in as he disrespected you on stage.
But you know what's crazy, though? So death happens a lot. Like, as we get older, we see more people our age, or these days even younger, check out, and it's just crazy, man. Like, at our age, to see people, younger than us just go.
Only 30.
Also, also just like, like I said, man, you got to give people their flowers while they're here, because to see the outpouring he got is kind of crazy too, from not only people in the culture but the mainstream artists. That was kind of dope. But it's sad that it took for this to happen for people to acknowledge him. You know what I mean? So rest in power to him. Like B. Austin said, we did our with the show. Maybe come back, maybe, who knows. But at the end of the day, though, rest in power. He was a young man who had a family. Salute to his family.
No doubt. All right.
Now, Dev, in terms of your question, though, because we're gonna get into that too, though.
I just wanted to see if you brothers saw the similarities, because Cardi's taking a lot of heat, and Bill Cosby's name keeps coming up. Y'all see similarity in this situation?
Here's the thing, right?
First of all, social media is the devil.
Yeah, it is a devil. It is a devil, man. And the thing is, she's taking a lot of heat, and I don't mean to start our show off all somber, but with that being I find it interesting when someone does something wrong that you like, well, such and such did something wrong. That always bothers me. But
the only retort left,
like
man, these days.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's what you go to, man. Like,
to that
but
point,
at the same time, though, some of the stuff she was saying was out of pocket, though. It was like
she dry snitched on herself, though, because in an effort to sit here and get people to feel sorry for her and kind of play victim with the criticism she was getting about something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, why do you care if people are saying, oh, you didn't have to work hard, you're an overnight success, blah, blah, blah. Let it roll off your shoulders, because you're rich now. And it doesn't matter what people are saying. You've already surpassed the label of one-hit wonder. So it's like, let the people talk, but so many people care what people are saying on social media these days, and then they get on social media and overshare, dry snitching on themselves. Like, what she said was kind of serious.
You know what, though? That's crazy. But here's the thing, though. Like, and I'm not even playing devil's advocate. I'm just being honest about myself, right? So I'm finally at that place where I can do exactly what you said, because you're absolutely right. You shouldn't engage with everyone. But it took me time to get there, even as a grown-ass man, because sometimes you just go back on – because people are so idiotic and stupid, right, that you just want to engage with everything they say online and to go back and forth. But I finally gotten to the point where I just laugh at people, because, what's the old adage? You can't engage with fools, because sometimes from a distance people can't tell who's who. And that's true. But at the same time, I've never snitched on myself in doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never.
And if y'all listen and y'all don't have a clue what we're talking about, Cardi B was on. She took to her social media and wanted to reassure people of how hard she worked to get her spot, and even admitted that when she was stripping, she would go home or to the hotel with dudes and actually drug them and rob them. And for some reason, she put that in the hard work category. So I'm not really sure why she ever brought that up. Like, why is that in the hard work category? I think, man, I strip hard to buy them drugs. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all, and I know you both can relate. Jimmy, you have nephews. Dad, you got 3 of them. I got 3 of them. And it's like, some of the things that we see adults do, and it's magnified because of the times we live in and social media, it's particularly disgusting because it's what we teach our children not to do, i.e., you did something wrong, and your first default as a child is to point to the fact that your brother, your sister, your friend, your cousin did it. He did it. Well, they did it. Yo, that doesn't matter. We're not discussing them. Personal accountability and responsibility for your words and your actions. And yet we go on social media, and grown people will be the first to point at the next person and point at them instead of acknowledging that they're hero or the person they support.
Crazy, right?
But in this case, I think the comparison was more so because, there's still a lot of people out there, who defend cats like Bill Cosby. So I think it was like those same people like, all right, well, if Cosby, blah, 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 then how come, y'all not treating Cardi the same way? And some dude did come out. He says he's not going to press charges, but, he felt funny even coming out in the first place. But he said he was a victim of that. He took Cardi to the hotel. He went to the bathroom. She threw something in his drink. Well, he didn't know that for sure, but the next thing he remembered, he said he woke up. There was an empty condom wrapper on the floor, and
his bread was gone.
She had taken like $850 from him. His iPhone, something like that.
His Louis belt.
His Louis belt.
He had to mention his Louis belt though. She straight stole his belt. But hold on.
But also he had to mention the empty condom wrapper because he's definitely trying to put her in the Bill Cosby realm. Like he what?
I said he still gave him the yams, even though she.
Right, but like I said, what they're comparing that to. Like it, for us, we would say she still gave him the yams. On the other side, if it was a dude doing it, we would say he took the yams. So that's the the semantics involved in the whole thing.
Yo,
it's crazy.
My thing is this though.
I just think it was
so
unnecessary.
Gloria will take that case? You think Gloria? Gloria will take his case or no?
Nah, she ain't taking that.
But you know what though? This is probably a bigger discussion, but it's interesting because like the internet was revolutionary and changed culture in society and all that, and the social media, the next wave, Web 2.0, whatever you want to call it, it kind of magnifies human nature because someone said that, oh man, people now are like this, but I honestly believe that some of the bitch assness tendencies that people are displaying on social media were already there. It's just the fact that we're able to see them. And because of that,
that's always the case. Even when people get a whole bunch of money and they act a certain way,
it was never condoned.
That was always in them. They just didn't have the money to act that way.
But B. Austin, it was never condoned because everything was like within pockets. So now you have weirdos that are able to congregate. Like I've heard people tell me that because it doesn't matter what you're into, whether you're a coward, whether you think you're a tough guy, alpha male, whether you're, no matter what box you fall into, now everybody has a place to meet. If you're someone who just sits around and watches Saved by the Bell reruns all day long, there's probably a group of Saved by the Bell rerun watchers all day long that you can communicate with all across the world.
Zach Morris is trash.
So my thing is, I think some of these behaviors were there. I think some of these behaviors were there, but it's just like now we're able to see it. So it's kind of like shining a mirror on how crazy we are anyway. Like it's interesting, man. It's just
the craziest part about this to me, Jimmy, is what I kind of mentioned already. Like she basically it was very unnecessary to say what she said. And when you think about it, when you break it all the way down, she was actually on her social media damn near crying because she was looking for sympathy because people were saying she got to where she is very easily. So in her rant and her begging of people to acknowledge her hard work, she gave an example of drugging dudes and robbing dudes. That was her example of hard work.
Because
she is like Cardi. What is
because she was trying to prove how real she is in terms of from the street, but also money can't get you self-esteem. Like money cannot get you self-esteem.
I can tell that
money
Cardi
can't get you education either. You don't go.
I can tell that
unless you buy your way in the cop.
She has no self-esteem and she has no education. I mean, we're pretty certain of that. Those two things we are aware, but I'm going to go ahead and toss this out there to our listeners, and we know that we do have some wealthy and famous listeners. Yo, we got to bring back the opportunity for you to retain the generals as your old heads. Like we not old enough to be your pop, but we could be your young boy uncle. We could be your older brother because my first thing is, yo, Cardi, who's your old head? Like, who allows you to do – you have too many yes men around these people that allow them to do these things. Like, yo, if any of us were in Cardi's position in terms of wealth and acclaim or whatever, it's no way that we would allow the other to go on air and say and do that. Like you would get
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, but it was
I'm
was
pretty
off
sure,
the cuff
pretty-
though.
but here's the
I don't
thing,
think it was a planned rant.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she has people who, and that's the thing. She probably has people who say like, "Yo, you need to chill, fall back, yada yada yada." So, and I try to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's literally growing up in front of us. Speaking of battle rap, Cardi B used to be like a ring card girl for the Smack events back when we was going back in the day. Like she literally grew up in front of us.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And the thing is, she's growing up at a time where like it's just access to too much information and also being able to put your unfiltered thoughts out there. People don't think before they
Cardi on top of the world, Jimmy.
You see a race tweet.
Somebody take that seriously enough. Cardi gonna be on trial soon.
That's what I'm saying. Like you, sometimes that's why like I started moving of like to put your phone down movement because it's just too much, man. Like I said, this is who people are, but we don't need to see this all the time. And honestly, I think God said that I grew up in a time that I didn't have it because I don't want to be holier than that. I was an asshole, and a lot of us we hung together. We was all assholes. We did stupid stuff. And could you imagine if we recorded some of the dumb stuff we did as teenagers? Some of the decisions we made, and we had a camera, and we probably would have, because we drew and did dumb stuff just to make each other laugh.
20 to life. 20 to life at least 5 times.
I don't know about being the camera though. I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid to put myself on camera doing nothing wrong.
Even the stuff we did, like, in terms of like,
never afraid of cameras when he do good stuff.
No, listen. Even like something like as dumb as we used to race cars, right? When we were young, we would have recorded that and drew. Like, watch me go 200 on Roosevelt Boulevard. We probably would have smacked out and killed each other, but we'd have drew. We'd have drew for the gram. I mean, just being honest, but that's why
Shout out to
I feel sorry for some of the kids that
Bobby
grow.
Phillips.
That's why it's a good thing that we didn't have this shut down. But, yeah, we did dumb stuff.
All right.
We did dumb
All right,
stuff.
well,
Even sometimes
Cardi,
we judge these athletes talk about,
Cardi,
like they got to grow up. But the
stop
with all
man,
being said, with all that being said, you called it stupid.
Just put your phone down. Put your phone down.
Hashtag put your phone down.
Yeah. Let's get into some hot topics, man. There's a lot going on. But real quick, of course, before we talk about hot topics, we got to tell you guys about MyBookie. Let's talk real quick about how much money you can make betting on sports, since it's legal now, with MyBookie. The NBA and NHL seasons are into their final stretches. You got the NCAA tournament at the Sweet 16 stage. You got MLB opening day. This is a great time of year to lay down some bets. You could join us and thousands of other online players placing bets at mybookie.ag. If you're tired of getting the runaround from those other services when it's time to get paid, that's why we urge you to join MyBookie. If you win, they pay fast, no hassles. You're basically wasting your time betting anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting so you can place wagers after the games start. Join now and MyBookie will match your first deposit with a 100% bonus. Just use promo code WARROOM, all caps, to activate the offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, and get paid. Period. So like I just mentioned, MLB opening day is here. It's a lot of excited baseball fans all over social media. We had a little post earlier on our Facebook page to tell everybody to rep their team with a video, not a video. We asked for a photo, actually, and then that turned into like a GIF contest. Is it GIF or GIF? I still don't know. Either way, it was that. Just recapping a little bit, a couple of the finals. Mets 2-0 versus Washington. Baltimore lost to the Yankees 7-2. Milwaukee beat the Cardinals 5-4. We got a couple of games that's in progress right now. Actually, our Philadelphia Phillies just finished off the Braves 10-4. Did you guys see any of that? The town is crazy. They're in a frenzy for Bryce Harper. He didn't do much. He got on base once, and that was an intentional walk. Other than that, I believe he was 0 for 3.
I didn't get my money's worth.
but they mashed. Fans like me, they're gonna be saying that every game. We'll go 1 for 4. I didn't get my money's worth.
Yo, shout out to McCutcheon, man, because McCutcheon started the season off very excitingly.
Yeah.
And as I navigate through the city,
former
like,
NL
Bryce Harper
MVP Andrew McCutcheon.
I see Bryce Harper jerseys and like even banners in the city hanging everywhere. McCutcheon gets no love, but shout out to him.
Which is why, like what B said is totally wrong because the Phillies are definitely gonna get their money's worth.
They definitely. I'm lightweight Bryce Harper supporter though. I can't say I'm a fan. I don't say I'm a fan of too many men, but I'm a little bit of a supporter. Dev, you know why? Because I was at a game, and I don't know the first thing about baseball other than you hit the ball, so I get excited. I saw Bryce Harper smack 3 balls straight, pause, and I'm like, dude, him and Manny, they hit the ball.
I was about to
always been.
Jimmy, I was about to say, Bryce, I do this because Bryce Harper is the only baseball player he brought up in the past 9 years besides Manny and Barry Bonds. We're still talking about Manny. Yo, Manny probably talking about Manny.
Andy Manny.
And for real, Bryce Harper don't hit the ball like Manny. He hit homers, but he don't hit the ball like Manny.
No.
He just got $330 million off hitting like 266.
Yeah, this is an exciting time. Like, 10 days, an exciting time. But it's funny how give it 3 weeks and it'll die down a little bit.
Too many games, man. You got to be the baseball purist to keep that same energy throughout the whole season. The baseball season is way too long. Even I don't consider myself a purist of that because this is one of those sports where I'll miss some games. I won't even think twice about it. I watch a lot of them, but I'll miss a chunk. I don't miss NBA games. I don't miss NFL games for the teams that I root for. But baseball, I'll miss some. Hockey, I'll miss them all and jump on the wagon in the postseason. But shout out to excited MLB fans out there. The NCAA tournament is still going on. The Sweet 16 begins this. Did any of you guys even do a bracket? Because for the first time in forever, shout out to Frozen, I didn't do one. I didn't even look at a bracket.
I did. I gave my Final Four last
something for a couple $, so I'm pretty sure you did.
I did, but like nothing major like I usually do. And basically, I was just taking chalk. But I had Carolina, Duke, Michigan, and Villanova, who's going. I mean, one of my 4s out of here.
Villanova got hammer time by Purdue. That wasn't even cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't even cool what they did to them.
Pretty much.
Look what they did to that dog. Tonight you got Florida State versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a 1 seed, so they've been waiting for that 1 seed for how many years now? You got Tech versus Michigan.
John Stockton.
That's the thing, though, Jimmy. If you did, this is one of the rare tournaments where if you did pick chalk, you're pretty much still in good shape at this point because a lot of the high seeds advance. Of course, like we always do, you had to have at least 112 beat a 5, but that happened with Mississippi State, but like that always happens. I'm starting to think like 12 matchup is damn near like the 4 or 5 matchup in the NBA. But if you talk, you should be in pretty good shape.
I just realized something, Des. We talked about like baseball open and jump, but we didn't bring up Questlove though. Like
noodle arm, and actually 2 12s advanced. So the 12-5 matchup, that's a toss-up every year. Yeah, so what Jimmy's talking about, I don't know, if you're a Phillies fan, you might have seen it. If you were at the game, you may have seen it. But Questlove threw out the opening pitch for the Philadelphia Phillies today. But throughout is, I say that loosely because what he did with his arm and the baseball I don't really know if we can classify that as a throw. And my thing
Yo,
is,
my man looked like he looked like he's never played a sport in his life.
Right. But if you know that,
He
why
hasn't.
do you agree to do it?
He hasn't.
Yo, why don't you practice?
That mound to that plate, that's serious. That's serious right there. He threw it off the mound and it landed 4 feet from the mound.
Yo, I think people do that on purpose, to get attention, man. No way, when 50 did that, John, the Mets game, when 50 did the ball, cause no way you could tell me that wasn't on purpose, man. That was trash.
50 was way too strong to throw the ball like that.
So
he
he's trolling, man.
See, but I don't know, man, because to me, it's always them extra strong-looking dudes that's weak as hell. And I got a quick story for y'all, man. We were looking, we found this dining room table set, right? It was from a realtor, it was brand new. The realtor was just using it to stage houses. So we was buying the joint. We went to look at it. We thought it was nice. So, we decided to get a dude the cash that he asked for it. So the dude was going to help me take it down to the car or whatever. So we had to take the legs off of it because of where it was. The staircase was too thin and windy. So he took the legs off the joint. This dude, tight shirt, muscles, all that. I go first. I'm backing all throughout the house, and we went outside, got to the car. I'm about to put it in the back. This dude loses his grip and drops it on the ground.
Yo,
but this is not my first time. We sitting there, and you can see his face, you can see his whole cell just flashing before his eyes. Point of the story. I'll let y'all know how it turned out. I know the people are damn, why can't we know? But either way, the point of the story, because this is not the first time this has happened, man. I've been moving stuff with big diesel dudes who wanted to tap out while you had giant objects midway up a flight of stairs. I'm yo, what is it? Why do dudes lift all these weights and stuff and they can't do anything? That's what I want to know. If you're a weightlifter and you out there, please let me know.
They do it all for the nookie. They do it all for the nookie. For one, but for two, because needleness don't even equal strength. Because most that's cut don't even lift heavy weights, because I don't even know if you can get that cut lifting heavy weight. So
dude wasn't he wasn't a thin cut up dude. Boy, chest was bulging. Yo, pause. But dude looked diesel. He ain't just look like
Rick
but
that's what I'm saying.
Look like Hulk Hogan or somebody.
And I know we got a bunch of weightlifters and people listen to us, but from what I'm told, y'all, I don't spend time in gyms like that, doggy. But that in order to get cut up, you can't really lift heavy weights. But it's crazy though, man.
Do all that work.
Getting back to
the.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean it's the same reason why dudes spend their whole life chasing fame and fortune, and they end up cheating on them with somebody who's a smoker. Y'all remember? Y'all act like y'all ain't see Casino, man. When the man was out there getting all that bread, and his chick was messing with a straight junkie. That's what happens, man.
And then she be financing his life, financing his junk.
Yeah, she gives your bread away to somebody else. It happens sometimes. Be
like a chick leaving Nino for Pookie.
It's been several chicks that never mind. But listen though, I just want to say that I don't know what that was, man. But also, quick, before we jump back into the NCAA tournament, something I noticed today, opening day, and looking at the sports channels, baseball is on the NBA joint now because they're showing everybody's similar to what the NBA does. So they're trying to turn baseball into a fashion show now. I don't know, but if they keep this up,
contracts, man, I guess they want you to know the players a little more.
Yeah, so I'm you know what that means. Once if they keep up with that, you're gonna see people start to draw like the NBA.
Remember the NBA a couple years ago had a fashion show at the it was a fashion contest at the All-Star Weekend. Come on,
They said let's embrace.
That's when I knew. That's when I knew it was over. I knew it was over.
The crazy part about that is like you give the NBA credit. If you study the histories of the games, like they were the ones that invented a lot of things, like all-star festivities and all that kind of stuff. So they all out trying stuff. But I just happened to notice that watching baseball opening day. I said, is it because it's opening day, or this is something that the MLB is actually trying to do, and get their sport to be popping like everybody else?
Yeah, it's madness, man.
But getting back to the tournament, though, Daz, I will say this, right? We all know what the math looks like in terms of how much money the NCAA generates in a tournament versus the rest of the year and the rest of the sports. But what I find interesting about this tournament, I feel like it's like Zion is playing by himself and then everybody else is just there. Even when I watch games that Duke's not involved in, all they do is sit around and talk about Zion. And
John Morant in the middle of a triple-double, and they're like, he's playing almost as well as Zion.
Yeah. He's not even playing. It don't even matter which game I watch. He's all the talk, right? And it's crazy because I think about that on so many levels. Are they setting him up for failure? One.
It might be because people are starting to go a little too far with what they say about him.
Oh yeah, I heard people say he's a top 20 player in the world right now.
Already.
He's never set foot in the NBA.
Skip Bayless said he's top 20 in the NBA right now. He doesn't even play in the NBA.
I saw think pieces about the Lakers. The Lakers should trade LeBron for Zion. I think Cowherd said that. I saw other ones say that Houston should get rid of Harden, Golden State should get rid of Durant. Like they are building him
as
up.
much as I like Zion, Jimmy, I still haven't seen Zion run up and shoot a pull-up jump shot. Like they doing too much. Like there's a lot of stuff.
I haven't seen Zion make a basketball move.
Right, like there's still a lot of stuff that he hasn't shown. Like athleticism puts people in the fools category. And I don't
listen. I just
Zion makes this one pass every game. Fast break, he makes his bounce pass, and because of that one pass, because he gets like 2 or 3 assists in most of these games. Because of that one pass that he's done for like the last 3 games, people are now talking about his vision. People are now saying, where do you play him? You play all 5 positions. He throws one bounce pass.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like,
they said that during the game. Like, he could play all 5 positions. I'm like, come on, stop playing, man. Like, he gonna stick Joel? Really?
He's a left-handed player making a left-handed bounce pass. I'm not saying it is a good pass, but he made the same pass.
Say, right? So,
maybe that's the only pass he has in his arsenal. He's not Magic Johnson.
I hate everybody. I hate everybody because kind of early on to recognize Zion's talent, and I was rooting for the Bull because he's 330 pounds with a 44-inch vertical. Y'all see what I did there? I added a couple pounds.
Yeah,
he's 330 with a 44-inch vertical, playing the small forward. So, we're giving him fat boy love. Like, we trying to see another Charles Barkley part 2. But the level of hype that is picking up makes it disgusting. Like, I can't take it. He's better
Funny thing, though.
There was a show. I'm not going to name the show because they didn't cut us the check. There was a show where a quote-unquote reputable pundit was saying that they would take Zion over Chris Middleton. They would take Zion over Mike Conley, which I probably would. They would take Zion over Kyle Lowry. They would take Zion over, like, naming all-stars. I'm like, yo, this is out of pocket. It's out of control.
The crazy part is he seems like a good kid. Other than obviously he has no game. The way he talks to those milk duds, he be, "How are you? You're beautiful, gorgeous." Like, outside of that, he seems like a good kid.
He's gonna get himself in trouble in the DMs on some nerd stuff.
Yo, my man got no game. Just hope to understand his story. But
exactly.
At the end of the day, he seems like a good kid. He is exciting to watch, but the hype train is like, And a lot of people compare him to LeBron. I've seen that, like, in terms of the hype. And LeBron did live up to the hype. But I don't even think LeBron had this hype because, for one, LeBron didn't go to Duke. For two, where we are in terms of media overall right now is different now than when LeBron came in the league. So the hype train is real. And I'm dead serious when I say no matter what game you watch during this tournament, he has nothing to do with it. They're still somehow make the conversation about him. And as I watch that, it just makes me think, like, when you talk about athletes getting paid, like, there's no way he should even be here at this point because they're selling him. They're just literally selling him at this point. And he's not getting
You know, the
paid.
difference is with LeBron, like, with LeBron,
They're not selling.
you both comparisons of who he might be able to play like. And you also just said he could go down as a very great player. The difference with Zion, he was just saying, like, they're actually tossing names around of people who are currently in the league, talking about who he's better than. Like, they never did that with LeBron before he came out. And like I said, as much as I like the dude, I'm still waiting to see him do some fundamental basketball things that would make me think, like, okay, if something happened where he wasn't as explosive, he would still be able to do his thing. I don't know if I've seen that yet. Shout out to Casey Mack and the War Room Sports Game Time group. He said Zion LeBron, he was the first millennial who was showcased on YouTube.
I don't know if he's
the
either,
first.
because I can pull up. All you have to do is go to Baller's Life, and they have a mixtape of pretty much every player from their high school. Because I was watching one today. I was watching Kyrie Irving.
And that was classes way before Zion.
Yes, I think that Zion.
You might know that because he's the one.
He might be. Definitely not YouTube. Here's the thing about YouTube. Cats kind of realize how long YouTube's around. I was watching a video the other day that said uploaded 12 years ago. I was like, dang.
Yeah, YouTube.
But
this diggity.
Yeah, but Zion might be the first. He might be the first Instagram star in terms of hoops because, like, his little short clips of his dunks in high school came up at the same time that IG was popping. So he might be the first one on that platform. It's the number one platform right now, so that makes sense. But the one thing I can say about going to Duke is, and I don't want to give Coach K all the credit because, I mean, the kid had to work too. His weight has come down a little bit, and he seems to be a better player because I was even watching old highlights of him the other day on YouTube from school. So he seems to be becoming a better player. He has slimmed down a little bit. He's handling the ball a lot better than he used to because he used to just, literally be nothing but an athlete, run and jump. So Coach
you're right. I
coaching him up a little bit.
Some improvement because, he can stand still and hit a three-pointer.
Yeah, he got the Sam Perkins.
Like you said, he can handle the ball a bit better now. Like those clips, the early clips when everybody fell in love with Zion in high school, like none of those clips contained not one jump shot. None of those clips contained not one pass.
He was just jumping over people.
Right.
He was literally just jumping over people.
None of those clips contained a pass. So, if he's making his one, long bounce pass now, like that's an improvement from what we saw before.
And his credit also, Dev, he seems to got some heart too, because at the end of that last game, when Tucker was down there throwing everybody's shot, the rest of his team, to me at least my opinion, they were shook. And when they needed to,
they were shook every time Tucker was in the game. If Tucker played 40 minutes, they would have lost. Shoot, they almost lost when
they played football. That last play was all heart. Where he just was like, yo, I'm playing football. And he just ran at him when the rest of his teammates was looking like they was shook daddy. So that showed me something too, that he got a heart. Like he was like, look, you know what I mean, boy might block you, but I'm gonna run into this ball. So
the last thing I got about the tournament, because everybody's excited about Ja Morant now. And he's a good player, but after he got the triple-double in the first round, I saw articles come out talking about, man, these teams are going to be making a mistake if they draft Zion instead of Ja Morant. I'm like, oh, my God. These people change with the wind, man.
Point, man.
Blows to the left.
But at this point, I learned not to take anything. I learned not to take anything serious anymore because at this point, it lends credence to what your president says about fake news. People don't even believe some of the stuff they write these days. It's that they have to pump out content. Like reputable sources now just become content farm. they just want to pump out content, like, to the point where, like, headlines don't even be what they're talking about within the article. So they just pumping out content, and they just have to say something. Like, and everybody has to, say the most drawnest thing possible. Hot takes. We live in a hot take society. Like, everybody's entire life is judged the last thing they did. Like, and I watch it with LeBron. Like, it's LeBron's entire legacy is judged from shot to shot, not game to game, shot to shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just see things getting worse. When Zion gets to the league, after one game, they're going to be having articles about where he fits in the Hall of Fame. Either that or he's going to be the worst pick ever.
Better than Wilt. And we see you guys.
They're already saying Markelle Fultz is the number one pick of all time. Like, how is that possible already?
Well, he ain't even played yet. But so the NFL made a big change this week, man. They changed. They voted, and it was almost unanimous. There was one owner who voted against the rule change, and it was the owner from the Cincinnati Bengals, who has a history of going against the grain on these votes. But the vote was on pass interference, stemming from that no call in the NFC Championship game between the Rams and the New Orleans Saints. So now, in the 2019 season, pass interference is going to be reviewable. Both offensive and defensive pass interference is going to be reviewable. They said that these are the first penalties in the history of the league replay system to be added to the list of approved reviews. And for the first time, the coaches are going to be able to challenge non-calls for pass interference.
Game going to be 12 hours.
I was about to say, what do you think about this? Because I have mixed emotions on it. Like, you want them to get things right. But pass interference, like most things, you go to baseball with balls and strikes. You go to basketball with foul calls as well. Like, all of that stuff is very subjective. And for all of these years of all of these sports' existence, we had to deal with the fact that we had human error in the game because these games were refereed by human beings. So I don't really know how I feel about this. Like, I already think that, like, what happened to the days when the replay was supposed to be a minute and a half anyway? Because I swear they just go and they just look at it until they get something these days. I thought there was a time clock that was supposed to be associated with that. But yeah, I kind of think we're going into a slippery slope because the games are long anyway. This is going to be something where you can only challenge a pass interference or a non-call in the last 2 minutes of the half and the last 2 minutes of the game. And it basically runs like the old challenge. What's your thoughts on that?
I think we're going to get to the point where they're going to start like just reviewing every single play just to make sure nothing happened that shouldn't have happened.
Right.
Listen, man, this came from the badness of the Saints, like, complaining all off season. And I hope it ruins them for the next couple of seasons because they still going to be complaining about that call. Because, I mean, we know the call was egregious, but you don't lose or win any game on one call. You just don't. Pass interference is subjective in a lot of cases, like you said. So, I don't know, man. Like, I don't like this. I just don't like this.
It's ironic that you said that about the Saints, Jim, because it says Saints were the most penalized as far as pass interference goes. They're the most penalized team in the league. This could backfire on them. A lot of the things that they may have gotten away with, since they're so aggressive in the defensive backfield, they come back to haunt them for the rule that they pushed. And
yep.
Yeah,
and,
man, I don't know.
Is, like,
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Not to completely poop on him, because I could imagine, like, you work your entire life and you put so much blood, sweat, and tears in the season, and to lose that way has to hurt. But at the same time, at some point, you gotta let it go. Like, you gotta move on.
Yeah,
it ain't coming back. It's over with. And this change, man, like the game, like, I don't know, NFL, man, like, God bless the sport, man. It's like decisions they make sometimes make me real, like, this made me think, what's going on? Like, I guess when you're on top, you just feel like you could do whatever. But I mean, we've seen the mighty fall a lot of times. Every industry there is known to man.
B, before we go to the phone lines, what do you think of the pass interference review rule? That you can review pass interference calls and non-calls, get them overturned.
I think that it's a slippery slope. I think you're going to run into there's too much subjectivity in this, and I also feel as though, to a certain extent, there's already enough of the game is legislated to favor the offense as it is. Hence, we have these inflated numbers and decline in the actual skill of the player. Well, increased athleticism, but I don't think the skill level is ultimately the same, because these cats don't have to work that hard on offense to get open and to run routes. And so I think that this is just another thing that bodes itself in the favor of offenses. And also, because it's subjective, you're going to have you might have some ish in the game, man. I'm not really in favor of it.
I think when you talk about interference and any, defensive, illegal contact, defensive holding and stuff like that, I think there's a lot of things that they could have gotten to look at before they got all the way down the line to pass, to review and pass interference. They did this because the league's, marquee quarterbacks was caught in this situation. They probably after the Super Bowl was such, they probably wished that they had the Saints in the Super Bowl in the first place. There's just a lot of reasons that they probably in this issue right now. I think you need to look at stuff like illegal contact being an automatic first down, defensive holding being an automatic first down, pass interference being a spot foul. I mean, you're bailing out a lot of teams who either have bad offense or they're at least having a bad day. Like, you could be doing absolutely nothing. You throw a deep ball, somebody touches somebody, subjective, whether it was that much contact or not, now you got the ball on the yard line and the whole game changes. Or it could be 3rd and 23, you get a contact call, which is like a 5-yard penalty, and now you got an extra first down. So a lot of this stuff really bails the offense out, and I think they just found another way to bail that offense out some more, to be able to review, just live call by a referee.
There you go.
Let's go to the phone lines real quick. The homie Tobias waiting on the line. Tobias, what's up? Roll
hey, what's going on? Hey, I hope Avery Johnson updated his LinkedIn profile. That's all I got to say. Screw that Ninja Turtle looking blankety blank. But here's But here's the thing. Y'all talk about that pass interference. All this is about was the Saints whining and crying. That idiot coach of theirs, all they had to do was run the clock out, and they would have won the game. But no, he wanted to be cute and throw the ball. It happened. Hugh Hollins missed a call on Scottie Pippen 20 years ago. The Bulls didn't even beat the Knicks. But guess what? The Bulls still had a couple of games to go to beat the Knicks anyway. That did decide the series. And they still had a Game 7 in New York. You go up there and win. But here's the thing. You start doing this, you're going to slow the game down. What about the Hail Mary pass? What about all these times where you mad, now the Saints may get screwed, because what happens in the Saints going for a playoff run, and they call pass interference on them, and the Saints going to be mad. And my last thing on this, I'm kind of glad the Saints didn't make the Super Bowl, because it would have been the greatest check-down Super Bowl matchup ever, because Drew Brees likes checking it down, but nobody wants to say that. But, hey, go ahead, fella.
Hey, that's a good point, though, that you make on Hail Marys, because this rule, like I said, you can challenge in the last 2 minutes of the half or the last 2 minutes of the game. So is that what we're going to be doing now, just to try to get an extra shot at it, or try to get lucky? Because there's contact on every Hail Mary.
You're absolutely spot on, Tobias and Dev. There are going to be some coaches that even save their challenges until that situation to have 2 and 3 cracks at it. This is not like you say. There's so much more that could have been done before we got to this, and I'm a little disappointed. But what do you expect from a competition committee that doesn't really want competition with its offense? So
You know what? I remember it's like we could count on one hand how many times a big games that a blown call decided it. That call did decide the game because the Saints had the ball in overtime first. They blew it. And, oh, yes, in that pass interference, that helmet and hill wouldn't have happened if Drew Brees didn't throw a duck out there. But anyway, y'all talking about basketball with Zion, right? I was saying the other day they put too much crazy expectations. And like in the lottery, right, the Bulls and the Suns are going to be in the lottery, top in the running for the number 1 pick. Both of those teams need John Morant because they got desperate need a point guard more than they need Zion. But since there's so much pressure to take Zion, they're going to miss out on the potential blue-chip guys so no one can say, hey, you missed on Zion. You know what I'm getting at. It's kind of like those teams are forced to draft them.
And Tobias, people do that all the time, though, because if one of those teams takes Zion and Zion ends up being a bust, then everybody's going to be talking about, man, well, we said you should have took John Morant. Like, they always do that. Because I'm like, all right, maybe the good thing to do is to take Zion, because if he does bust, then at least you could go out, at least you can go out saying that you took the consensus number 1 pick. But then everybody, once he's no longer as good as that pick says he was, then everybody's a genius all of a sudden, retroactively. And I said that you shouldn't have took Zion. I thought such and such was better than Zion. Should have took Morant. You should have took Barrett, this and that. But you can't find those people right now. You know what I'm saying? People are already talking about how Zion is a top 20 basketball player in the NBA, and he ain't stepped in the NBA yet. But you'll see if he don't work out, all the genius is going to come out.
Listen, man. Nobody is telling the truth because, first of all, people always make these proclamations. This is that, and this is that. And if it never pans out, they just ignore it like they never said it, or they said something else. Like, literally. Like, it's literally crazy. Like, the other day, Kobe was on that show, and they asked Kobe to put the players in order. I know you guys saw the clip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I was looking at the clip when Bleacher Report first posted it, and they had it on their Twitter feed, and they said, hey, Kobe, you have to answer this question or the cow tongue, right? And we all know what happened. But I'm reading through the comments, and people were arguing back and forth about whether he ate the cow tongue or not. I'm like, but the video is there. My point in saying that is, it doesn't matter what's said or done. People will deny saying something, or they'll just play both sides of it. So it's kind of comical. If Zion pans out, they're all going to say, see, we told you. If he doesn't pan out, they'll say, well, we always knew he wouldn't. Ja was the guy to begin with. It's kind of crazy, man.
Like everybody now was like, yo, I said they should take Tatum with the first pick. Nobody said that, though. Nobody
ever.
Exactly.
I got something like that. Like, it's like, remember Kwame Brown came out? He was the number 1 prospect. No one was hollering about Pau Gasol. Hell, Shane Battier went top 5 in that draft. I'll let you know about that draft, right? But he was a top prospect. Everybody was taking on number 1. And so everybody wanted to be revisionist. It's like this year. All these people saying that. Yes. And remember, like this past season, they were like the Suns, the Kings, the Hawks. I may be missing somebody else. You should have taken Luka. But those teams who picked the player over Luka, those players are doing well. And, for example, why would the Sacramento Kings take Luka? We know Luka's big time. But De'Aaron Fox, the point guard, he's going to be a future all-star. You don't need another guy who needs the ball if you got a point guard in De'Aaron Fox. It's like people just want these teams to pick a player and figure it out.
What's funny is, like, that comment reminds me of, like, I was watching a video this week, and it was talking about how great Hakeem Olajuwon was. And they said, here's how you know Hakeem was a great player. Hakeem was picked before Mike, and even right now, that still was a good pick.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. I was like, I never thought about it like that. It was like no one still would clown Houston. Like, hey, you didn't pick Mike. That's how good Hakeem was.
guarantee you, Jimmy,
but they fit
part of
though.
the population out there that believes Sam Bowie went first and Michael Jordan went second, because they never even mentioned that Hakeem got picked over Mike as well. Because, like you said, like ain't nobody mad at that. But I think the legend has been told from the time people who weren't around to know that. I don't even know I don't even know. I think people think that Sam Bowie went number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? And I feel sorry for Zion in a way, because he's a great athlete, but his game is so raw right now. He's so raw skill-wise with his game. He's still growing as a player. Even this year in college, he has grown. Well, people don't realize
growing as a player, man, he's still growing as a human being and a man. Like, dude ain't done growing at all. So the hype train is out of.
Here's the crazy part about it. If he came out of high school, he wouldn't have been number one pick. He wouldn't have gotten the bigger shoe deal like he's going to get now. He actually became a bigger star playing that year at Duke. And,
no, he did. That
was what Jimmy was saying,
yeah. And I ain't knocking that, and that's why I think a lot of these guys ain't going to take that 125 at the G League. They probably get more money, better facilities and stuff. But I just think people got to wait till these guys dribble. It's like with Luka. I think Luka's a big-time talent. But I was like, let me see what he is on the court first. Then you saw he's on the court.
Well,
cool.
You can't wait, because you can be the last person to recognize talent. You got to be the first. You can't wait. You got to jump out the window.
Yep.
Listen,
you
man.
You got to jump out the window and head your bet.
Yo, you can go.
I'll say this before I run,
look
guys.
up the top-rated fifth graders right now. The list is out there.
You know what? I'll say this before I run. I remember when Derrick Rose came out, there was a large number of people said, take Michael Beasley number one. And look how that turned. I know Derrick got hurt, but it's just crazy how these people, but nobody wants to say that either. Or like, because you never know when he came out.
You never know.
I admit my flaw. I was saying that O.J. Mayo was better than Derrick Rose. I used to say
but you guys have a good one, fellas.
All right, man.
Way to not snitch on me, because I did that too. Dev didn't throw me under the bus. We damn sure was O.J. Mayo fan.
Yeah, O.J. let me down, sucker. And so it's crazy, man. The pass interference thing is going. I don't know, might not be good for the league. But real quick, man, somebody hung him up this week, so we got to do a quick FOF or FOH. Y'all know that Patriots and then Rob Gronkowski. He had been flirting with the idea of retirement probably for the last 2 seasons. He finally decided to hang him up. So need to know what you brothers think. HOF, FOH, Jimmy, Rob Gronkowski.
Oh my God. This is tough for me, because I definitely think it was a borderline. Although I saw people asking, "Is this a serious question?" But
well,
I'm gonna say.
You want me to throw some information out there? You know, people need his statistical work.
I mean, I know what his stats look like.
I mean, not for you, for the audience.
Because okay.
Yeah,
right,
drop the numbers. Drop the ballistics.
Drop the numbers for the audience. Rob Gronkowski, 521 receptions, which puts him at 130 on the all-time receptions list. 7,861 yards, 15 yards per reception, 79 touchdowns. Let me read some of the names. I'm gonna just pick random names that are on top of him on the all-time receptions list. Gerald Cotchery, Brett Perryman, Haywood Jeffries, Marty Booker, Carl Pickens,
Marty Booker
running
was
back,
trash.
Eric Metcalf, Jeff Graham, Ike Hilliard, Darren Sproles, Jeremy Shockey, Eddie Kennison, Ed McCaffrey. Ed was all right, though. Lionel Taylor, here. Wayne Crabette. Brian Blades. Y'all get my point. Because I stopped with Brian Blades, and that's only like number 80-something on the
Brian
list.
was I didn't even get your point, right? But
I didn't get up to the top. That's just, I'm just naming names. I'm not even trying to crap on him. I'm just trying to give information.
But no, I get that. But at the same time, how many tight ends have more receptions? A lot of those were featured receivers, even though they shouldn't have been. But
that's a good point.
Because he also
that's a good point. It's actually a lot though. But it's also a dude you exactly say, yo.
He don't got more than Algie. He don't got more than Algie Crumpler though.
More receptions than Algie? I don't feel like looking for his name.
He got to. There's no way possible. Because if Algie Crumpler
gotta have more than Algie Crumpler.
If Algie Crumpler got more receptions, he definitely ain't going. But I'm gonna say Hall of Famer because the one thing, and part of me doesn't want to send him in just because Purdue's arguments on our page were irritating me. He's another one of those.
He was coming at everybody's neck and said anything negative, and he was liking everybody's comments. Fred's such a homer.
Fred Purdue is another hot take guy anyway, so salute to him. He's one of them hot take guys. But it's just that when I think of again my period when I tell the game and you talk about this Patriots run, and he kind of like Brady a new life after the beginning when he was playing with Branch and Moss, and when he came in, it gave him a new weapon. It made them formidable for this last couple of championships. And also, he's one of the better blocking tight ends too. He's a blocker, for, the guy that has that many receptions, even though he doesn't have more than Brett Perryman. Yeah, he's a good blocker as well. So he's a well-rounded guy at his position. So I would say yeah.
All right, because he's also, I believe, 4-time All-Pro. However many times he went to Pro Bowl. I mean, I don't care about that, but he's there, and of course, a 3-time Super Bowl winner. So that's one Hall of Fame B. What are you thinking, Rob Gronkowski?
Gronk. All right, so Fred Purdue put him in, obviously, and I would like to anger Fred Purdue right now. I really want to, man. I really, really, really want to argue with Patriots fans, period. That boy should go in the Hall. That boy should go in the Hall. Yo, he was the best tight end, bar none, even when he was injured. Like, dude was a problem. There's no type of defender that could cover him. You could put a small, fast corner on him. He would just lay mushroom head on his helmet and kill him. You could put a big safety on him. He would run him out of there. You could put a linebacker on him. He would run past. Yo, dude was dominant to a point where it was sickening as an Eagles fan to see how good
Jimmy
dominant.
Said, when you spreading out things like that, you can keep him inside, and he turned into one of your best linemen. So
yeah, he's all
and
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, all I was going to say is to let you know, he also had more receptions than Algie Crumpler because I looked it up because that was bothering me.
Because it couldn't be true.
I
got 320 receptions. That's my game.
Gronk didn't die for a few minutes and hold on to a pass though.
I got 3 rings though. All right, listen though. We talked about his numbers though. A lot of that has to go to the fact that he only played 9 years in the league. Like he on his Gale Sayers joint almost. Played 9 years in the league.
Year for 3.
He spent a considerable amount of time injured on those. So for me, when I'm talking about Rob Gronkowski in the Hall of Fame, his numbers aren't even the first thing that I'm going to go to because his impact far outweighed his numbers on the field. I mean, you look at it, even big games, man. You think back to the Super Bowl last year that the Eagles ended up winning. They almost did not win that Super Bowl, and it would have been all because of Rob Gronkowski. In the first half, I don't know if they just weren't going for him or if the Eagles found a way to do a good job on him. But in the second half, when they absolutely needed it every drive, it was Gronk time, and there was nothing that the Eagles could do about that.
Nothing.
And that's
nothing.
Throughout his career.
Beyond that, is one of those.
Yo,
It's
Dev,
one of
I
those
want to.
things
I
where
want to just.
he's one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those guys that
Go-
you
go
always
ahead.
have to be aware of where he is on the field, and
Yeah, match
that's
up.
why I always laugh at the whole adage of you got to make your teammates better. Like great players make their teammates better just by being live and walking on the field /court /ice. Because I've seen games where Gronk just being out there gets everybody else open. Why do they think Walker and all those guys walk through the middle the way they do? Because they got 6 people on Gronk.
Just two more points because I feel like we're giving him a reach around. Like, honestly, I've watched a lot of football. I've played a lot of football, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. He's the first tight end that I've ever seen triple team. Like, I've never seen a tight end get triple team, and they would triple team Gronk. Dude would get triple. I've never seen a tight end that was so deadly or dangerous that he had triple team.
Tony Gonzalez in his prime used to get crazy coverage.
I accounted for that. I thought of Tony first, and I thought about that. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I've never seen Tony get triple team. I've seen him be doubled. I've seen him get doubled.
Here's the thing.
Gronk would get triple.
I want to say Shannon Sharp just because I want to say Shannon Sharp, but that's strictly biased because I don't know if I don't remember that ever happening. I'm just making that up because I have Shannon Sharp biased because he was a Bronco. But I have seen Tony Gonzalez I've seen Tony Gonzalez get triple team and it didn't matter anyway. Back in the Chiefs days before the Falcons.
So it's unanimous here that we would all put Rob Gronkowski into the Hall of Fame. But what do you guys say to the people this week who said that Rob Gronkowski is the greatest tight end of all time? Is there any merit behind that?
Hell no.
I think that he had the potential to be, but he had the potential to be, but his career was too short and his body work just can't compete when you got guys like Tony Gonzalez.
Right. So basically, he had the tools, he had the game, but there's still some stuff needed to, still a few more chapters.
Shout out to Tony Gonzalez because Tony Gonzalez was still putting up 1,000 yards in like his 16th season or something like that. Like he was still deadly to the end. And Gronk was deadly to the end.
Let me play devil's advocate here because we can knock him for his numbers, which had a lot to do with a lack of longevity, but we generally don't give tight ends the credit for Super Bowls. But can the fact that he won 3 Super Bowls kind of overshadow the fact that he didn't have Superman and that built him to the top of the tight end?
Nope. I don't even know why Jimmy's saying no, but I'm saying no with him. No. Nope.
I mean, I got several reasons why. It's 52 cats that got to win a bowl, dog, and he's a part of. Now he is part of, and he's a contributing part of a dynasty. But I mean, they got 3 rings without you too, dog.
All right, just throwing that out there because, like I said, we don't give credit to tight ends for that anyway. I don't like that we give all that credit to quarterbacks because, especially in the last decade, like. Half the time, the quarterbacks ain't did a damn thing to help them win.
Especially the Patriots who kickers do them chips.
So like shoot, even my man, I know, man is my man, $50,000. Like he didn't do much in that Super Bowl. Seen Super Bowl.
Yo, he did everything to lose.
Brady just got it.
He did everything to lose that bowl. They won this, but I mean, because at some point, are we going to
make mistakes in the bowl? But yeah, he didn't.
Are we going to give credit? Are we going to give credit to Rob Kraft's masseuse? I mean, she held it down, helped win that bowl. Probably got a ring.
Rob Kraft's masseuse definitely helped the Gronk out.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to all the escorts and masseuses of age out there who just trying to hold it down and look out for the call. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to Myra's and
Rob Gronkowski is a War Room Sports Hall of Fame. Congrats, Gronk. That's the best Hall of Fame you can ever be in. Real quick, man, so we can move on to some other stuff, man. But the big baller brand empire seems to be crumbling. I know B. Austin is probably loving every minute of this. A scandal was reported this week where the homie Alan Foster, who owns about 16% of Big Baller Brand. If y'all don't remember, he's the dude. He's basically the spokesperson for everything that they do at Big Baller Brand. He was like LeVar's partner. But you didn't. The crazy part is you didn't find out this week that even LeVar only owned like 16%. Lonzo's the 51% owner of Big Baller Brand. So, you know, this whole time that VAR was trying to make himself famous, you know, he Lonzo
not trying.
But you know what? They needed Lonzo's money and his, you know, his rookie contract to do a lot of the things that they did. So it's not surprising. But it seems like now that this scandal is broken, Lonzo is trying to take back his power and take a little bit of control of the stuff that, you know, is in his name. So there was Alan Foster is supposedly the culprit behind a missing $1.5 million. And now his criminal past is being questioned. He did a stint prior to getting with the Big Baller Brand. And supposedly the letter from Lonzo's financial person or whoever, his lawyer, the letter was written to Lonzo and LeVar back in October. And LeVar is just now reading this letter this past week. So there's a lot of speculation out there because they said that the boys are actually not messing with their dad right now. Demo, who is Lonzo's friend and manager, he did an IG post of him throwing his Big Baller shoes in the trash. Lonzo got the BBB tattoo that he had on his arm replaced. His corny-looking dice. And I hear that they're not speaking to their dad, but they don't go any further than that. Being Jimmy, do y'all think that Lonzo think his dad may have something to do with this missing money?
Here's my thing, right? And, you know, I've been paying attention to what's going on. I think it's sad because I think what they were trying to do was dope. And, you know, they were laying a foundation for someone to take it to the next level. And when I read the stories and read up on it, I'm like, the crazy part is they said that not only was Bohr stealing from the Big Baller account, he stole from Lonzo's personal account. So this is definitely someone they trusted, and they trusted him so much to get a nice piece of equity of the company.
But
so
you know what?
The company
you're using the words
is Lonzo, his father, his mother.
Trusted. That's probably why Lonzo's mad, Jim. Because those boys
that was
do
his
anything.
pop's right-hand man. So, like, imagine your right-hand man stealing from your seed that, you know what I mean? Because he was trusted by the family. If you watch the show, me and Dev do, he was with the family. Like, he was damn near part of their family. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, if you have access to his personal account, like, you know what I mean? Like, so,
I thought they knew each other longer than 10 years. I thought he was like Lonzo play cousin.
Dog, I thought he came up in the mud with them as close as he seemed to be on that show. But then there's also the cynical part of me and the conspiracy theorist part of who think this is all BS and this is more content for their show because let's face it, right? Nothing's really popping with the whole clan right now. And somehow, some way, they always find drama or controversy to keep that show popping, whether it's overseas and stealing, which made the show pop, whether it's like the whole idea of LaMelo playing overseas, or now, okay, we're going to Aspire. They always find a way to have something going on, like for when their show comes on, so their show was popping. So part of me feels like,
even if that was a thing,
one for the team.
I'm about to say, even if that was a thing, how would you get Alan Foster to allow his name to be dragged through the mud, not just nationally, internationally?
Hey, man.
You know, just with some more content, like, because even if they just gave him that $1.5 million to do that, that's not enough money, yo.
Because that's
people
what's
be having
reported,
fanatical fans. Somebody might try to take a swing at him.
It's the Chris Carter theory, man. Chris Carter told y'all guys a couple of years ago, man, when you become a professional athlete, man, you gotta get you a fall guy, man. It's the Chris Carter theory, man. You gotta get you one of them fall guys, man. Shout out to Allen for being a fall guy. He probably got more than 1.5. The thing is, he hasn't said one word like to either confirm or deny this. So either in the words of Kanan, whatever they say he did that shit, or like he's taking one for the team and the show gonna be popping because I've even heard people say, I want to see what happens when the show come on. I want to see what really happens. Like, they always find a way. or they just got a drama. They got a drama-filled life. Maybe it's that too.
Yeah, I don't know. And LeVar hasn't said much either. And, like I said, according to reports, insiders, they're saying, like, none of his sons are messing with him right now. I mean, because maybe now that everything's crumbling, because if Lonzo goes, then the brand LeVar made himself into a star. But if Lonzo goes, it's basically your financial backing right there. And they already, they still have all the problems that we chronicled before with the Better Business Bureau. Lonzo goes, there's no way you're going to be getting orders out in time. I don't even know if they've still been taking orders and filling orders.
The funniest thing
I think the kids
when,
might be mad, Jim, because they're like, okay, it's all part of the plan. But now, especially the other two, they see the brand buckling. And they're like, yo, we haven't even gotten to where we wanted to be yet, and everything's starting. He done snatched Jello out of college. He done snatched Melo out of high school, and they trusted everything he did, and now everything's crumbling. Like, what's going to become of these dudes? Melo that keep practicing.
Well, here's the thing, right? So what I find interesting, and first of all, the funniest comment I saw is when Bull posted that joint of him throwing his sneaks in the trash and how it was all over and all that. One of the comments is like, does this mean I'm not going to get my sneaks I ordered 2 years ago? And I just thought that was hilarious.
Man. And that's the thing. They said Lonzo, removing the tattoo, he's trying to remove himself from the brand totally. There's been reports that Lonzo might be signing with Nike, which we know now he's not going to get what they would have offered him had he taken the deal in the first place. And I'm not even going to say like hindsight is 2020 because a lot of people said that before, but I'd still agree with you, Jimmy, that what LeVar tried to do was revolutionary, but the execution was
and it's going. The thing is,
you had
it's going to be mentioned
like he's been doing this for years, and y'all ain't filled 16
orders. It's going to be talked about. It's going to be talked about, and it's going to be like talked about in business schools and just in like the whole idea of the way he tried to do. It's going to be talked about probably as a failure, but nonetheless, he did something that will be talked about forever. So, but the execution was bad, and I think it's like they didn't partner with the right people. Obviously, if you got someone stealing from you, two, you could have took this idea to Amazon and had them do your drop shipping like Beast Mode does. Beast Mode has his own clothing line. But he has this drop ship through Amazon where they handle all the shipping and all those kind of things. So
shout out to Soulja Boy.
But yo,
shout out to Young Draco.
Young Draco out here burning cats too. So, but the fact of the matter, the fact of the matter, man, this whole story, man, is so many layers and so much going on with it with the other boys. Like Jello, I don't know who Jello's mad at. Jello, you went overseas and stole a pair of glasses in like China or something, so you should be mad at yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I think Bar still hastily pulled him out of UCLA. They weren't going to suspend the dude forever, and that was really the only shot he had. But LeVar was so hell bent on all of these dudes being a one and done. They didn't need
he was trying
that time. He should have left him in there. Let him take his medicine.
He was trying to market him. He was trying to market him.
Let him take his medicine. He was like, probably gonna miss like 5-10 games.
Yeah, he was trying to market him into becoming a first round draft pick. Like, yo, I don't even care about ball. I'm just gonna make him so popular that you gonna pick him just to sell tickets. I'm gonna
that was the only
option.
That was the only thing he
had.
had.
Forget the fact that he's 6'5", no position player, but
he like Zion, man. He can play all five.
How this whole thing plays out is interesting, but at the end of the day, they don't get money from Zuckerberg because cats will be tuned in. So I don't know, like, if I'm joking, but I'm half joking when I say it's a conspiracy. But
Zuckerberg's gonna be mad because Lonzo ain't gonna never show up on the show again. There's gonna be LeVar and his brother and his wife.
But also, Zoe has to accept responsibility as well, though, because like you trust your dad, that's one thing, but like probably gonna steal $1.5 million from me, and I know he's busy working out and all that, but it doesn't matter. Like he owns 51% of the company. So if you're going to be an owner, you have to carry yourself like an owner as well. You can't just be the guy with the endorsement deal at this point because you're a 51% owner of that company. You know what I mean? So you need to be on top of things too. You're 51% owner of the company.
But we already knew that those dudes did anything that their dad said, trusted anything in their dad. So he probably, he talked him into, you just put up some of this capital. We make you 51% owner. All you got to do is play basketball. I'm going to run it. I think that's probably why he's mad at him. He's like, okay, because I put all of this in your hands and you put it into the hands of, this cat who had a criminal record that Lonzo obviously didn't know about.
Brian probably working for Nike alone. He dug all that up. Brian probably hired an investigator, found that out, and told Nike, like, I'll get him over there.
He hit him with the Mario Van Peebles, though. Hit him with the Van Peebles. Like, I put my trust in you, and you put your trust in the crackhead.
Got him.
That was my friend,
classic,
man.
That's classic.
He's like, I bet on you. You bet on crackhead. He had to do Pookie like that.
Shout out to Pookie. Yo. Did y'all know that Martin was supposed to be Pookie by the sidebar?
Yeah, I saw that story. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
All right, real
Martin
quick
would have been
before
a trash
we go on some other stuff. Matter of fact, Jim, you could pick and choose with the grind, so they're not all good anyway. Stat of the week. This was surprising to me. Rudy Gobert, of all people, the other night, an alley-oop from Donovan Mitchell, he set the NBA single-season dunk record with his 270th dunk of the year. That mark broke Dwight Howard's old record of 269, which was set in 07-08. This data, this dunking, counting dunks only goes back to 2000. So I'm sitting here like, how does Shaq not own this? Like I would like the first names that would come to mind for me were like Shaq and Dwight Howard. Even though Shaq had way more game than Dwight Howard, Shaq still dunked a lot. Or maybe he didn't dunk as much as we did. But, when he dunked, he did it with force. We just counted that as like 10 dunks. I don't know, but I would have never thought Rudy Gobert, like, not that I'm glued to the TV for Jazz games every night, but even when I watch Jazz games, like, I don't see Rudy just banging on cats like that. But he has the record.
Rudy Gobert averages about 16, 17 points a game, somewhere around there. Between 15 and 17 is what he averages in terms of points. Only gets dunks. Like, so it's shocking to me, like someone like DeAndre Jordan, who may average around the same amount, is not up there as well. Because these guys don't score outside of dunking. So it's like
DeAndre has no perceptible skill.
The big mans now, all they do is roll to the basket and get tip-ins and things of that nature. So, like, that's all he does is dunk. Like, he literally has no moves, and he needs to stop the blood clot crying when he's gonna make the All-Star team too.
I think literally. I think I'm a little biased though, Jim. I think I'm like, just look at Rudy Gobert. Like, he don't look like he dunking on nobody. Just look at him. He block a lot of shots. I guarantee you, all those dunks there's not one dunk where they like throw it to him in the post to move and dunk on somebody. That's not what he does. But he will come off the pick. He's a great rebounder who gets a lot of like putback dunks. So he just, he get little stupid dunks. And they just don't put Rudy Gobert in highlights, dunking a lot.
Only highlight I saw him this entire season was like a block shot or him crying.
I want to be an all-star. I dunk a lot. Come on, Rudy.
Stop the blood clot crying.
Come on, Rudy. All right, man. So what happened this week? My dudes was on the grind, man.
Yes, sir. While you were on the grind is brought to you by Sports the Book, the single greatest book ever written. I'll be very brief. Here's how you get the book. Go to sportsthebook.com or go to our hub, which is warroomsports.com. But either way, go get that book. It's time to talk about things that happened this past week while you were on the grind. Jordan Bell was suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. From what I understand, my man was like running up someone else's credit card tab. Is that true?
What he did was in the team hotel, he threw some incidentals and he he put it on assistant coach Mike Brown's bill. So people still disrespecting this coach Mike Brown, former head coach Mike Brown.
My man out
the
here.
thing is, when they did the investigation and all fingers pointed to him, they came up with the conclusion like this isn't the first time he's done this, but now they know who's been doing it. So, Jordan, young
my
boy.
man out here running. He out here and guap that 4,000 credit card scam, and while he's in the league.
Right. I mean, because
people,
the team pays for the hotels, and these dudes get a per diem every day. But if you order anything to your room, incidentals, any room service, any movie, some prawn, which probably was what this whole thing was about, that goes, to the expense of the player. You have to pay that yourself. So, dude got caught out there doing something crazy.
Yo, my man is in the league running credit card scams. He out of pocket. He's definitely out of pocket for this.
He's a scammer. He's a scammer.
Yo, and part of me, especially because that means you a cheap bastard. But then the other part of me is like, come on, cuz, you drawing. Yo, anyway, man. Yo, salute to all the cheap people out there. Well, I shall not say cheap. Salute to all the frugalness out there, man. You know what I mean? I'm with you.
Salute to disrespecting Mike Brown. I'm all for it.
I am about it. I don't think he did anything wrong. He did nothing wrong.
Yo,
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown getting so much money. He probably getting done to him for years and didn't even notice it. Getting checks from 5 different teams. Salute to Mike Brown for getting the bag. Shannon Brown. Remember Shannon Brown from the Lakers who just ran and jumped and dunked. He was an athlete. And I mean that, not a basketball player. He was an athlete. But he married star Monica from The Boy Is Mine with Brandon. Salute to Monica. And Miss Thing, well, that's a bar. For those who don't know, that was her first album name. Well, Miss Thing basically for divorce from Shannon Brown. And they were together for a while. I know Dev was kind of upset by this because he said celebrities should never get married.
I don't understand why celebrities think they can get married, man. Especially, ball players. Especially like both of y'all are celebrities, with an actor or a ball player. Shout out to Tony Parker and Eva Longoria and Mrs. Barry. Shout out to that whole love triangle. I don't know, man. I just think people be wasting their time. You think about the Kardashians. She married Chris Humphries for like 3 days. Lamar and Chloe married after 30 days. That ain't work out. She turned him back. Just don't seem to be.
But you know what though? I'm willing to bet. I was reading the other day that 3 out of 4 marriages now fail in the country, right? So marriage in general, as an institution,
it used to be 50%. Now we have 75.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was around 50%, but they said like 3 out of 4. At this point, divorce attorneys are kicking up. That's like in terms of like lawyering,
unless
one of the highest professions.
You just never go to one. You ain't got nothing.
You're kicking up, and I'm willing to bet that it's not even higher when it comes to celebrities. Like, people just don't take the institution serious as they once did. It's almost like asking somebody to go with you now. It's like that's how people are treating marriage.
I agree with you totally, because people do that. Like they're getting one argument, and just like a young teenage boyfriend and girlfriend couple is like, all right, we breaking up now. Like, yo, you just argued once.
That's how it is. Like, yo.
Like,
but it's
damn, I'll trash
now,
out. You ain't got to leave me.
I saw something also. It was also like a higher number now of people remarrying that have already been divorced. And that also lets me know that cats is not taking it serious. Like, yo, we divorced because we argued. Then we get back. Like, you find out that's the person I like anyway. Then you marry him again. Like, cats have been married multiple times to the same person.
Everything Jimmy is saying, I have personal examples of every scenario that he's saying. Like, so definitely, there was like getting back with your high school chick.
Like, listen, for those out there listening, don't take my word. Just Google it. Like, these articles are out there because people will send them to me, and I'm like, yo, this is real. Like, because to me, like, if you make the decision to divorce someone, you have to really, really think that through and process it. Like, right. And I get it. Sometimes you're meant to be with someone, but like, yo, how do you go back to someone that you went through that process of? I don't know, man. But anyway, my point is,
some people be having another wedding. Like, yo, what are you doing? like we're not doing
like,
that.
And for those out there who are friends of mine who have done that or have plans on doing that, don't invite me to the second time around because, like, I'm not gonna buy you another gift, especially if you're marrying the same person.
Yeah.
Like, how you supposed
And
to?
then
Like,
y'all
imagine.
probably pawned all the gifts that we gave y'all the first time. I saw it.
Yeah, come on, y'all. But
you had to pawn them so they could split up the
Shannon,
money when they went separate ways.
I didn't know what was the reason for this divorce, but they were together for a while.
Yeah.
You know, they had seeds or whatever, so I don't know what happened.
What
I have
happened?
no idea, but
no teams called. That's what happened.
no, he ain't in the league no more.
No record companies, no teams. We can't be broke together.
Speaking of the Kardashians,
we're both famous.
Speaking of the Kardashians and speaking of marriage, the legendary Chris Humphries had a piece on the Players Tribune which discussed his retirement, which he announced, and also his day marriage to Kim Kardashian. I call him a legend because I don't think that he is a legend, but how did he get to write a think piece about his career and his marriage as if he is a legend? Who cares?
I have Jim, I have no opinions on the details of this article he wrote for the Players Tribune. You know why? Because I didn't read it. Because it's Chris Humphries. Why did like you said, who told Chris Humphries? I think it'd be a good idea if you announce your retirement on the Players Tribune. Like, I didn't know that you weren't. I didn't know that Chris Humphries wasn't dead. Like, what are we doing here?
Content for him, dog. Content for him.
Like, if somebody would have told me 2 months ago, like, yo, Chris, you remember Humphries passed away? I would have thought they was like, oh, I would have been like this, like, I think I do remember.
Yo,
and then they were like, no, I'm just joking. Like, I don't know what Chris, like, you weren't retired already? Who you play for?
Listen, man. It was crazy. What's crazy is, right, so most of us as men will never admit, a lot of us, how can I put this, right? So when it comes to, like, having a woman, no man wants to think about their woman being with somebody else, right? And I don't care what man that is, like, white, Asian, that doesn't matter.
Everybody.
Yo, but it's like, could you imagine when you chick, like, so everybody has a past. By the time you meet someone, unless you married to someone that you've been with when you were 10 years old, everybody has a past, whether it's long, short, whatever it is. But could you imagine, like, your chick, like, having dudes that are known by everybody and everybody knows who dug up into your chick?
That's the thing.
I
actually always defend those chicks. So, everybody want to call Kim this and call Kim that. I'm like, Kim is really no different than any other.
No, it's not.
The thing is, everything she does is public, so everybody she's dealt with is like, you didn't know about it. Half of y'all got the same kind of baggage out there, but your dude know about it. So, but her, like, I don't know how.
And that's absolutely true, but it's something to be said for that too. Though, like, listen, I know chicks that probably got 3 times the amount of bodies that she got this week, but at the same time, like, it's different. I don't. Could you deal with that?
And we've seen her getting bodies.
Could you deal with that?
Like, all kinds of stuff.
I'm gonna ask y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. Like,
could I be Kanye?
Could y'all deal with it?
You know why?
Even with her.
The lifestyle they live, Jim, there's a chance you're going to run into one of these dudes every other day. I can't do that.
You might run into multiple of them dudes in the same event.
You can run into Reggie Bush, Chris Humphries at a sporting event. Run into Ray Shannon and shit. You can run into
Ray
Nick
J gonna let you know.
And Ray J
and Ray J gonna tell you it first
or something.
Ray J gonna tell you and how it went.
Yo, be honest. How about you? Do you think your ego is strong enough to deal with that? Could you deal with it?
No. I don't know.
Think about it.
Nah.
What you thinking about, dog? I must be a sucker then, because I ain't even got to think about that. Yo, I know for a fact I couldn't deal with it. Insecure ass to be like mad at her every day. She didn't do nothing.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, you can't even watch Ratchet TV. You're gonna see one of her dudes. Like,
you can't watch Ratchet TV. You can't watch sports.
I can't watch football.
I'm thinking about body count, and I'm like, yo, honestly, body count wise, like you said, Jimmy, I'm probably 5 or 6 times
It's not body count. It's just the fact that everywhere you turn is somebody that body.
Oh, dog. Listen, these people are in your face. You can't listen to music. Can't watch sports. You can't watch like
I don't
movies.
listen to Ray J.
They did actors. Yo, you think he the only musician? You can't even watch Wildin' Out. Like yo, you can't do nothing.
That's kind of funny.
Yo, you can't.
Wildin' Out,
can't
like Nick
anything,
Cannon is like the younger version of Steve Harvey. If Steve Harvey doesn't host it, then Nick Cannon hosts it. So you can't watch.
Pretty much.
America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent.
You can't rock nothing. Like,
Wildin' Out.
Man,
Cannon's
she's
Class.
lucky.
Can't watch YouTube.
Yo, he lucky Steve Harvey ain't body her. He just had to turn his TV on.
Might have. Dog.
Yeah, the sugar daddy ball.
All I'm saying is, like, shout out to Chris, but that's what I saw. This story reminded me of that. I was like, yo, she's NBA player, football player, and I was like, again, to Dev's point, it's not judging her because chicks out there got bodies. It is what it is. But I don't know if I would be strong enough to deal with that because even as bad as she is, I can't deal with that. That can't be me, dog. Can't be me. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about real quick is
all that because of Scrub decided to write an article.
Yeah. So we talk about something else. But anyway, Michael. Last name is Avenatti. I forgot how Trump pronounced it, but he pronounced it all wrong. He's just slandering the boy. But he was one of the attorneys going after Robert Kelly, and his next thing was after he destroyed R. Kelly, he said he was going to destroy Nike. Man drops on Twitter how he had the goods on Nike and he was going to release something tomorrow. You know how bad guys do in the movie when they got somebody and they want to tell them all the reasons why they're going to kill them, and you just basically
they pull out the gun and
life away.
Start talking to him.
They be like, "Why I'm killing you?" Because fill in the blank. Yeah, Jack Bauer happens every day. But anyway, he said he was getting Nike out of the box, and then 2 hours later, an indictment came down on him. Nike put that phone call in and made that paperwork make the paperwork. So now he's all caught up in the jam. My man got indicted for trying to extort money from corporations. Dev, already you thought it was hilarious for him to make the announcement.
Yo,
what do you think
I thought it was hilarious. The announcement when things started coming out, he was telling you stuff that nobody cared about, like Nike gave money to like Kwame Brown's family. Like yo, so what?
Nike gave a bowl. Be like so.
Yeah,
Nike gave money to
gave
DeAndre.
Some free sneakers. This is what you. This is what.
And like
this
is
what
my man
the gun
said,
is talking about. Like this was.
Salute to Survive because he made a great point. He was like, Bol was one of the highest recruits in the world, and he went to Oregon. Like, why would he go to Oregon? Nike.
Yeah, like we didn't know he got broke off by Nike. Don't nobody go to Oregon. Come on, man.
Yo,
he just like seriously.
My man out here. My
man
man
up the street guards. Like he had the greatest information to Nike unethical practices that you're ever going to hear in your life. But then somebody in our chat made a great point, though, Jimmy. Like, it's really not Nike's job to be the ethical, parties and all of this anyway. Nike's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, they're not the NCAA. They're not the ones breaking the rules, even when they're doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, he hyped people up. He must ain't look at Nike's market cap before he put his name out there because they got right on his ass. And my man said, "I'm going to end Nike," and then came out and said, "Ira Newble's grandmother got a free shirt."
Yo, he going to end Nike.
Nike while he was a college athlete.
He going to end Nike. That's hilarious. But yo, so my man is really out here trying to stick people up though. When you think about like, he was Stormy Daniels' lawyer who was trying to stick up 45. He was trying to stick up Kels and he realized Kels ain't had no money. So my man is out here literally. My man using his law license to straight blackmail people.
He got caught up.
But
he
picked on the wrong person.
Had something to do with Nike.
It's like about Bol, go ahead, dog.
No. Bol though.
So man, that was trash. But that
said, "I am going to end Nike." Under Armour probably got excited. Everybody, Adidas got excited. New Balance, who made those boxing-looking shoes for Mute, got excited. This boy came out and said, "Yeah, we gave Milton a pair of Air Force Ones when he was in high school."
He
Like,
said Clarence Weatherspoon got a check.
Yeah, that was a fail. That was a fail. You should be ashamed.
Anyway, man, those are the stories that happened while you were on the grind. Dev, I know you want to give some birthday shout-outs real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to do that real quick so we can move on to this. Michael Avenatti. All right, birthday shout-outs. Luke Walton, who will soon be jobless, turns 39 today. Wesley Person, the younger brother of the Rifleman, he turns 48. Elliot Perry. Remember Elliot Perry? He's like a little backup point guard. He's 50 years old.
Of course, with the high socks.
Jason Garrett, Dallas Cowboys head coach, and I hope he stays that way. He turns 53. Byron Scott of Los Angeles Lakers fame is 58 years old. Rick Barry turns 75, and Kevin Lockery is 79 years old. So we'd like to give a nice war room salute to all of these people on their birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody out there and many, many more. Salute. Yay! And real quick before we get into this b-ball talk, just make sure when you get time and you're just browsing around the computer, you check out our website at warroomsports.com. We're going to move on to some NBA talk, which is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Jimmy, take it away.
Yes, sir. Do you as your business need a custom website?
Hell yeah.
You got to call Digital Extreme Technologies. You can reach them by going to digitalextremetech.com or you can call 267-205-4203. Stop it with the cash site. Stop pointing to your Facebook page and get you a nice business site. digitalextremetech.com or 267-205-4203. Tell them War Room Sports sent you and you'll get the hookup. It's time to talk about this thing of ours, La Costa Nostra. Some hoops.
Blue Diamonds. We need that for that. We need that clip.
Yo.
I know. Blue Diamonds.
Yo. The players of the week this past week are James Harden and Trae Young, who's balling out his mind.
Yes, he is.
Trae out here putting the numbers. The other nickname they got from him, they call him Trae TL, and they call him Ice Tray, or something like that. Ice Tray. Ice Tray or Trae TL, that's his two nicknames I heard when you watch him play, because believe it or not, I watch him play because he's out here balling like crazy. Like,
yeah, so I got a question.
I'm a bust.
I was about to say, I got a question for you guys because, since he started off the season so slow with the expectations and Luka Doncic started off, he did. Do you guys think, because it's a two-horse race for the Rookie of the Year and it's a two-horse race for the MVP, but do you guys see any scenario where Trae Young could come up and snatch the award from Luka?
Not at all. Couple things. One, Luka is balling and killing, a little bit more than Trae, but also he's a great white hope. So being a great white hope, be a Rookie of the Year.
Here's the thing, right? I don't even think I don't think that he's balling that much more. He averages maybe a couple more points, but Trae averages more assists. Field goal percentage is around the same. 3-point percentage is around the same. Boards around the same. They're having both crazy seasons. It's just that Luka started off so fast. I think people at this point have made their mind up. And I think I realized it today when I was watching a Jason Kidd interview. He was talking about the award with Grant Hill. And when you look at the statistics, Grant Hill definitely should have won that. Now, Jason Kidd shouldn't even have got half of it. But because of the remember back in the day, a couple split. Who else split the award back then? It was someone else who had shared the award. Did Weber share the award with somebody?
No, I just remember those two.
Okay, so it was those two, but they were saying that they changed the way that the votes happen now. So now instead of like you having a vote and you put your vote for either Trey or Luka, you have to rank them and like they get points per ranking or something. So it's more difficult to have a It's more difficult to have a co-rookie now than ever. So that would be the easy answer. That was going to try to be my easy answer, but after I saw that, I was like, damn, it can't be co. But it's like a tale of like two halves of the season. But I think it's just that he started off so fast that people have like really mailed it in.
It is though, but I also think I don't think it's as close as people are making it out there now, because even though Trey stood up in the second half of the season, especially the scoring after All-Star break, Trey Young, and remember the All-Star break is past the halfway mark of the season anyway. So, but since the All-Star break, before the All-Star break, Trey was averaging like 16 points a game. He's averaging 25 points a game after the All-Star break. But if you look at Luka, he averaged 20 before and like 22 before. So even though Trey went up like 9 points and he's finally balling like they thought he could, Luka's improved too. So I think the award is going to be consistency, because Luka's gotten better over the course of the season too, but he started out so much better. You know, him getting better, I think it just leaves the award for him. But Trey has been balling out of his mind recently. I'm not going to front about that. He sunk my Sixers.
I'm not going to front though. I think Luka's going to get it. I do think it's. I would like a little bit different. I do think it's closer. Like when you look at it, because even when his shot wasn't falling, he was doing other things. He's averaging almost 8 assists a game as a rookie in a league where, like, night in and night out, playing that point guard position, it's tough.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but I think that it's already because like the ball started off so fast that people have like really, like not, they've given it to him already. And with all that being said, B. Austin made the point that the elephant in the room, so to speak. I mean, he got the complexion for the connection.
I say that, and I still think he deserves it, though. Don't get me wrong. I think, in my mind, it's close, but I have Luka out ahead. So I'm, that's what. Can Trey Young come back from it or come back to win it? I doubt it, because I think that even though Luka's ahead, I think they want Luka to be ahead as well.
Man, listen, Luka's doing the same thing that James Harden is doing, and it's funny that they're the players of the week this week. I didn't even do that on purpose, but I'm that nice, because they all but gave the MVP to Giannis. But Harden is drawing so bad offensively that he's making it difficult for you not to give him the MVP award. Like, and it's like Trey is balling so crazy right now. He's trying to make an argument.
There's like 8 games left in the season. There's nothing left, Jimmy, in the season that can happen that wouldn't give Harden my vote at this point. And I don't even like Harden's game is, put it like this, like my coaching side of me hates Harden's game. The street ball side of me loves Harden's game. But,
love it.
Fundamental part, like, that's just not good basketball. But I watched that man drag that team from like 14th seed in the West to the 3rd seed in the West, when a lot of dudes was in and out of the lineup with injury, and people were thinking they desperately needed to go out and, get some more players. Dude, he's there's nothing else that can happen this season that would, if I had a vote, that would make me vote against James Harden this season. And I think
shout
the world
of
Giannis, man. But
shout out to Melo though, because all that happened when they cut Melo off their team. They just started going crazy. So I don't know what kind of energy Melo brings to your team. I don't think it's his game. I think Melo brings some sort of like bad juju to your team or something. But once they got rid of him, he went.
Melo old earth. That's all. Melo,
Yo, but if
old earth vibe not working in the locker room.
What Harden is doing right now is ruining Nike's plans, because this whole season was Giannis' rollout, the commercials, the how much he's been talked about, the social media push from the Bucks. Like, this was Giannis' rollout season. But Harden is just like he's putting up historic numbers.
Like, I've seen these voters make exceptions before, like they kind of did for Russ, because usually they like it's the lazy criteria, the best player on the best team. You know what I'm saying? Now that's the Bucks, that's Giannis, but you have to take into account what this dude is doing to drag this team into position to try to make another at an NBA title. Like all that he's doing.
No, you're
now,
right. You're right. But let me ask you a
burnt out
question,
by
though.
the time they get to the second round of the playoffs.
Let me ask
He
you
might
a
be
question,
burnt
though.
out.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone make the argument that the Bucks have the best record in the NBA and Giannis is their best player. But here's my question to you: if Giannis wins the MVP, will you be shocked?
No, I think he's going to win the MVP. I'm just saying I would.
Okay. Okay.
It will go to Harden,
Yeah,
and it wasn't like that throughout the whole season. That's what I think
you
people
can't
don't
tell me that this
do.
is.
Yeah, I don't think the voters. I don't think they pay much attention to the ebbs and flow of the season. Somebody jumps out, and then they all think, "Well, it's his."
It's theirs to lose. It's theirs to lose.
Yeah, it's a long season.
But
it's like we don't know what's going to happen. And for me, I like stories. I like adversity. I factor all of that to some of these awards, man. It's just because your team has the best record and you're the best player on it, like that's just not enough for me.
Yeah, but like for me, like I even if we go back to the beginning of the season, we give our predictions. Like pick Giannis because I saw it. This was like literally his rollout season. It was like a brand new artist. You're doing everything in your power to get them to sell records. Like his face is everywhere. ESPN as well as NBA TV both did like exposés on him coming up from where he came up from, his transition to America. Like they literally are they're making this guy a star. So him being the having to pick the All-Star team with LeBron, like this is his rollout. It's just
and Jimmy keep calling him by his American name. He keep calling him by his American name.
Yo.
Oh, name Giannis, man.
Giannis.
Y'all remember when Doc Bay used to call Patrick Ewing Hewing with an H?
Yeah, Hewing. Patrick Ewing. Yo,
Patrick Ewing.
Giannis. I'm pronouncing the G. Yo, Giannis. I think that
I tell you that's American
man.
name.
But
American.
And Casey Mack, he said that. Casey Mack says in our chat that it's going to be the Rookie of the Year will be split. My thing is, if it is split, then it's fixed because that means they're going to have to sit down and figure out. All right, so if I rank them this way, you rank them that way. Like
right,
they're going to be split.
The way they vote down, those ties aren't even. It's not even real. Like you can't even get a tie the way they vote.
Yeah, so if it's split, that means that the fix is in. So I hope that doesn't happen. But real quick though, because we got a couple minutes left, I'll ask you guys a question. Tim Hardaway, he thinks that the comments that he made was keeping him out of Hall of Fame, and we all know what those comments are. I even got to
Tim Hardaway, you damn right. You damn right, Tim Hardaway. You shouldn't be. You should not be surprised.
I think that Tim was already kind of a fringe guy. You know, again, if Joe Dumars is in there, then Tim need to be in there, and he gets my vote. But I don't think he's a
Joe Dumars criteria. Tim was he was a part of a legendary Big Three when we didn't even use the term Big Three.
Big Three, right?
A legendary move. Hey, Tim Hardaway was that.
But then I ask you at a given prolonged period of time, do you feel like for a 3 to 5 year span, Tim was top 3 PG during that time?
Possibly.
I was about to say, without actually taking the time to sit back and try to think of every point guard in the league back then, I would say that's possible 3 to 5 to be safe.
No. He was definitely top 5. Top 5?
First of all, I wouldn't want him on my team. And second of all, if he was on my team, I would, really distance myself from him because I don't think that's right, and I don't think that he should be in a locker room while we're in a locker room, and it's just a whole lot of other things. So I wouldn't even be a part of that. But it's stuff like that going on, and there's a lot of other people out here like that's still in the closet and don't want to come out the closet. But I just leave that alone.
Yeah, Tim.
You
He
should
said he talked
the
for
problem.
like 2 minutes and then said, "I'm gonna just leave that alone." Like you already opened Pandora's box.
The problem is he didn't leave it alone.
What could you do? You don't have a recourse. You ask for a trade?
I asked for him to get traded.
Let me ask you.
Something has to give, and I think the majority of the players would ask for him to be traded, or they would want to get traded.
But you'd be trading him to a team where he probably wouldn't be wanted there either, I would imagine.
Right, that is true. Just buy him out his contract and let him go.
You know that what you're saying there, though, Timmy, is flatly homophobic, right? It's just it's bigotry.
Well, I hate gay people, so I let it be known I don't like gay people. I don't like to be around gay people. I don't, I'm homophobic. I don't like it. It shouldn't be in the world for that or in the United States. So I don't like it.
Did that on purpose. I'm homophobic. Come on, man.
Yo, hold on.
Hey,
Oh, that was after he said I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yo, that was after I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me ask y'all this: when you look at Tim, because I'm still trying to get to the Hall of Fame, like, is he better than Gary Payton to y'all?
No, he's not. But no, I mean, now after I added a minute to kind of think about it, I think I probably agree with you. He probably is fringe anyway, and that's probably why it's easy for them to just keep skipping over him every time the name comes up. So yeah, I mean, I get what you.
Let's go. I purposely brought Gary up because not that I know this is complete Poma. This is complete Poma on my part, but I feel like Gary Payton, if you put a mic in his face, he could say something similar, but you can't deny Gary Payton. You couldn't keep Gary out.
Here's my thing, though.
Hey, but
Here's my thing. I think he would be a Hall of Famer. I mean, because first of all, it's a basketball Hall of Fame, so you have to take into account his UTEP days, which he was an amazing college player. I remember him at UTEP, like. But I do. But they're like this Run TMC days too. Like, I don't know, man. I guess to be honest, as I sit here and think about it, he probably is like borderline. But I would too. Yeah, I mean, plus he played defense. Like, man, it's tough. But is he right about what he's saying? I guess that's the bigger question. Is he right? Do you think that without comment?
I think he's right.
Listen to him now sound crazy.
He's definitely going to make it seem like, it's the reason I'm not. I understand where B is coming from. Like, he might have been, I think he would have built the scale into the Hall of Fame, but I think it would have been just a couple of ballots, had none of this happened in the first place. But I think he would have ended up there. And this by far, it definitely has something to do with it. But we got to get up out of here.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. Yo, those comments sound so crazy. Like, what was I hate, when you think about that sounds crazy. You hate them, like, because they getting Franks in the rear. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he didn't.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. Like,
we didn't even say anything. He actually said, "I hate them." But go ahead, my bad.
Yo, he said, "I hate them," and he said, "I am homophobic." Yo, that means you have a phobia of gay people. Like, think about what that means. Anyway,
Tim Hardaway don't know what phobia means.
Yeah, he definitely don't. To say I'm homophobic, to say that means you don't know what that means. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another briefing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, everybody in the group. Listen. Some people got through, didn't we? Apologize, but as you can see, we're running out of time. But make sure you check us out live right here next week. You can always catch us on demand. We're going to talk next week about everything happening down the NBA season, the NCAA tournament, NFL draft preparations, and everything else in the world of sports, baseball as well, because it's still 1 week. So until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the next week. We'll see you right back here. Catch everything we do. All of our social media found, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything can be found at sports.com. Also, pick up a copy of my book, Sports the Book. You can do that at sportsthebook.com or our hub, which is fromsports.com. So until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we'll see you on the top. Peace out.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Yo. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Yeah. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Portrait secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dev, PJ, Doc Bay, B. Austin. I'm Jock. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.